Hey, what's going on? What's up, everybody? It's me, Abe. Hello, MizuCon. Hey, thanks for showing up. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for logging off your League of Legend games. Thanks for logging off your Crunchyroll account, your OnlyFans page. Really appreciate it. It's a fun time. Things are hella weird. I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing? Hope all is well. Let me see if I can go to these comments real quick. Yeah, I'm just chilling at home, waiting for that unemployment to hit, you know?
Really
This is
appreciate
cringe.
it.
First time doing webcam.
Fun time. Things are hella weird.
All right, MizuCon, thanks for the shout outs. Thanks, Aaron. Yeah, so just taking it one day at a time. Been catching up on some animes lately. Recently saw I've been watching Evangelion. Started watching that on I was watching that on Shrooms the other day. That was pretty intense. For a moment, I thought I was in the Ava myself, and I shit myself a little. All right, now I'm gonna start telling jokes. So this there's no easy way to say this. This one time, my ex-girlfriend, she stuck her thumb in my mouth during sex, and for the first time, I thought to myself, "Wrong hole." It's so weird to find an audience. Yeah, message me if you guys tell me if you guys see me, if you guys hear me. Tell me what you think about my ugly face. I don't know. No issues. Sweet. Sweet. Say hello to my friend Natalie. Everybody, thanks for letting me use the laptop. Wait, still waiting for that unemployment. All right, joke number 2. Let's just get on with this. I was looking at my driver's license the other day, and I couldn't help but notice it says I'm from the state of Florida, but really, the state I feel closest to home to is depression. There's no I'm just kidding. I don't have a driver's license. All right. What's your favorite anime? I'm curious who's watching and who's got something for me. Thanks again, Ben. Thanks again, MizuCon. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is cool. Ben, also thank you, Benjamin Torrens, for letting me do this. Yeah, MizuCon online is May 23rd, May 24th, and they'll be back August 22nd, August 23rd. Yeah, so shout outs to you to that. I'm gonna try Sailor Moon. You know, I love Sailor Moon. I was actually thinking about putting on a cosplay before this started, but I ended up not doing that, so that's okay. So this one time, my mom told me she voted for Trump, and for the first time, and I wanted to one up her, so I basically told her I'm a Satanist. Oh man, these jokes suck. I I'm trying my best. I really am. I'm sorry.
I had to put on a mask. I've been told I had to put on a mask to protect myself from other people, but they weren't very clear on the mask rules. They've been changing the rules on masks a lot since everything that's been going on with COVID-19. It's getting a little crazy out there. But before I go any further, I was given a list from MizuCon of what I'm not allowed to do on the internet today. It's a pretty long list, but thanks for the free toilet paper, by the way. I appreciate that. I'm going to follow only some of those rules. The most important rule is no nudity, and it's okay. I don't have a Pornhub anymore for that reason. So anyway, again, with the whole mask thing that's been going on, the rules have been all over the place with everything going on with COVID-19. You know, first they said you had to have an N95 mask, which is great because, hey, guess what? As someone who does a lot of cosplay and works with spray paint, I have nothing but N95 masks. And now I'm kind of debating on what's more valuable, toilet paper or the N95 masks. But it's okay. So, you know, I'm good on masks, but they keep changing the rules on it. They're saying, like, if you're sick, wear a mask, or if you're not sick, don't wear a mask, or wear a mask when you go outside, or wear masks on Sundays and odd days. Like they got to make up their minds with all of that. But the good thing, there's a couple of good things with everything that's been going on with COVID-19. As dark as it is right now, as crazy as it is right now, I've been able to get a lot of projects done on my end, mostly because I can't use the excuse of when I have time, because now I have nothing but time. And as a homeowner, I've been getting a lot of things done on my end. I've been finishing working around the house, working on the car. I've also been playing catch up on a lot of video games and TV shows that I missed out on all of last year. Although it's kind of interesting because a lot of the TV shows that I've been playing catch up on were TV shows from 2019 or very early 2020. The problem with these shows I've been playing catch up on is that they still have the commercials that were recorded with the show, because, you know, that's how recording works. And the problem with most of these commercials is they've aged like milk, in the sense of that this one show I was watching cuts the commercial, and all they're talking about is health insurance. And they're asking a lot of questions to the audience, like, isn't it time that you get your health insurance ready for 2020? Because 2020 is going to be the most important year for you and your health. And your health is going to be very great in 2020. And man, a lot of it didn't age. Like, for example, I was watching a game show, and the couple won a grand prize for a trip to Seattle, Washington, for May of 2020. And I was like, oh, I don't think they're going anymore at this point. But all this stuff going on, you know, it's kind of sad and kind of crazy, but also, you know, there's only so much we can do right now. It's kind of sad, especially with a lot of conventions being canceled and being moved online. The cool thing is, you know, I get to go to a convention at home. You know, that's kind of cool, I guess. You know, I'm going to be cosplaying as a lazy gamer #2 from everything else. But, you know, the interesting thing about moving conventions to online is how we're also engaging with everything and how we've been changing everything. But it's kind of sad because the way geeks have been handling everything with COVID-19, that's also been a very interesting situation on its own. For example, first they said that, oh, this virus is, you know, happening, and all of us geeks were at home. We're like, well, okay, we'll just not touch people. We're mostly pretty good about keeping social distance already. Ask any awkward person at a convention. We're very good about that. And then it changed to, oh, now your favorite conventions are being canceled. Okay, we need to find a cure for this now. Oh, now you're not going to go to work. You're going to get free money from the government, and you're going to be stuck at home, and you have to be locked in. Okay, I have enough time to play catch up on One Piece now, and a lot of video games. For the most part, us geeks are okay, unless you're considered an essential employee, which, by the way, I was considered a non-essential employee during all of this, and let me tell you something. When you get a call from your boss telling you that you're non-essential, it feels kind of insulting. Not gonna lie, but you know, it's not all bad times right now. I do have some good news I'm gonna impart right now. Actually, personal news. Turns out that my wife is pregnant with baby number 1. I am very happy about that. I'm gonna have a baby girl. I am so happy because that means I can start making baby cosplays for my baby, and I'm gonna have so much fun with that. I think I'm ready to become a dad. Don't worry, just allergies, not sick, not contagious. Although this cough has gotten me a lot of interesting looks when I have to go to Walmart. But I'm super excited to be a dad. I'm super excited to have a baby girl. All the cosplays that are going to be happening are going to be amazing. Aside from that, it's just I think I'm ready for it. I also am concerned because you know, one, my baby's gonna be a geek. Let's be real here for a minute. I mean, this is just a portion of my house. I mean, you can see all the geeky stuff. I can't go 5 feet or like less than that without finding something. I got Baby Groot on my desk over here. I got Phil Coulson from Shield in Lola right here on my desk. I also have a Fallout Pit Boy. I have a stormtrooper helmet next to me. There's nothing but geeky stuff all over this house. So my kid's gonna grow up geeky. What that also means, oh, thank you, MizuCon. Thank you for congratulations. And no, I'm not doing dad jokes just yet. I'm gonna save those for when the baby's actually here. But I will say this though, I cannot wait to do stand up at cons again, and you're gonna see me probably dressed as Mando and my baby as Baby Yoda, and that weird, you know, thing that you put the baby in that sits in front of you, like from Hangover. I'm gonna start doing stand up with the baby in front of me. Although I just remembered I also do 18 plus shows, and that's gonna be very interesting. But still, it's gonna be very fun to have the baby with me when I stand up. But I cannot wait. But the kid's gonna grow up as a geek, and I know that's gonna backfire on her so badly because I'm gonna make sure she's gonna grow up with all the geeky things growing up, especially when she gets in trouble at school. Because I know she's gonna get in trouble for something like LARPing and stuff like that. I just know it's going to be a problem, especially when I get a call from the principal's office. Mr. Pabon, your daughter Maggie, we had to suspend her because she took some tennis balls to school and started yelling fireball on the top of her lungs, stood up on the desks and started throwing them at students. I am very sorry that she's been doing that. I'll make sure she doesn't do that again. Important question, how many students did she hit? So I can give her experience points. Hello? I know that's what's going to happen to me. But anyway, that's my time. Thank you so much for coming in on this stream. I think I'm going to be chatting with Ben from MizuCon in just a little bit. Thank you for all the congratulations from all of you. I am so happy for having, yes, you can finally call me daddy. That just sunk in for me too. I'm really happy for all of this. But yeah, MizuConnect is going to be happening on May 23rd and 24th. I'm going to be signing off for just a second, but I'm going to be chatting with Ben in a little bit.
All right, guys. Just what we needed. a good, nice stand-up comedy evening.
Yeah, we're gonna have a longer show for the actual con
This
itself.
is the mass portion.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, we got to be promoting, social distancing and safe practices and whatnot. Abe's with his significant other, and
It would look so cute in
yeah, it's gonna be something special. We're all rocking the safety, trying to keep everybody out there prepared. But I'll tell you what, just because we're stuck at home does not mean we can't have a good, fun time.
no,
And
no, we're
it's
all
good to see you guys. We haven't seen you guys since 2019, and now we got you guys together again. And we're super stoked for MizuConnect, and that's going to be coming up in just a few more weeks. We're coming up August 23rd.
Can you guys hear me?
May 23rd, 24th.
I'm super excited. I mean, it's kind of sad. I had to cancel a lot of shows this year. Abe and I had plans. We were originally going to try to do a geek stand-up tour kind of thing. Unfortunately, with everything that's been going on in the world, we really couldn't go any further with that. But here's hoping for 2021, unless.
Coming up in just a few more weeks.
Are we doing time travel again? I'm hearing that weird after thing going on.
Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna leave it to you guys for a bit, so you guys can chat it up. We got questions, Q&A, and a good time.
Yeah, if people want to ask us questions on the chat, they can go right ahead. But so like Abe and I, we were gonna try to plan something this year. Unfortunately, things kept happening, Abe. But like, world's ending. What's going on?
No, yeah, hopefully some yeah, we'll wait a year. Give it a year.
We'll wait a year unless I'll be honest with you, man. My money on what happens next is like everybody's been putting bets on what's happening. Like right now the big thing is murder hornets. Like,
yeah, dude, I got all my stock in murder hornets.
Oh man. I'm just gonna double down and say like we need a Godzilla attack to happen or something. Like let's just like get to the next stage on that,
Yeah.
What's after murder hornets?
Right. What's next?
Like
really
America's
agree on
turning
that.
into
Like,
Australia at this rate.
Like it does feel like that.
Yeah. So wait, quick question. How much toilet paper has everybody got?
4 rolls.
4 rolls? You gonna make that last?
Hopefully we can make it last. So.
Yeah, it's just sad that this
a lot of poop.
Like, oh man. So everything good though on your end, Abe?
Yeah, everything is good. Everything's good. I'm like getting ready. I'm getting ready to put out a little comedy album video thing soon. I'm like working on that. Just chilling at home. I got this new computer. I'm trying to stay focused.
Awesome.
On this video. Yeah. How are you guys doing?
I'm good on my end. I mean, I'm getting ready for baby number 1. I'm super excited about that. We got a couple of questions already on the chat. So
I'm seeing people ask for craziest con story.
Yeah.
And both of you I know have enough crazy stories to go around. So let's give the people what they want. Let's hear some crazy con stories while we're all masked up.
Yeah, Abe, why don't you go first on that? Because I got plenty. And I'm sure many of them heard of all my crazy con stories,
Yeah.
but I haven't heard any of yours really.
In regards to fan encounter, I'm thinking of this one comedy show I did where I met I made an elderly couple vomit.
What?
In the middle of a comedy show. It was really weird. I think they had too much to drink, or I don't know if my jokes are just poopy. But yeah, somebody puked. That's probably right off the top of my head. Probably one of the weirder experiences. Yeah, making somebody vomit in the middle of a show.
I mean, I have so many stories to choose from, but I'll be honest with you, I've never made anyone vomit on purpose, or to any knowledge I can think of, even during a show. And I work at a bar sometimes too, so that's like that's pretty interesting on that list right there. I mean, I'm trying to think of the more recent weird con stories that have happened to me, but I remember back in Alabama, I go to this show every year called Comic-Con. It's in Birmingham, Alabama. And it was so weird because as I'm there, a friend of mine had me go to we went to Texas de Brazil in Alabama, which we've all been to Texas de Brazil. It exists in Miami, it exists in Florida, but in Alabama they make a big deal about $70 all you can eat meat. I mean, it's in the South. It makes sense that they're like freaking out about this.
That does sound very southern and very delicious and very cheap.
But it's Texas de Brazil, so it's kind of so anyway. So we're there, and we're in the middle of this giant smorgasbord of meat, and all of a sudden, my guest handler comes up to me and she goes, "Oh, you have a panel that's going to happen, and like it's already happening. You're late for your panel." And I'm in the middle of like half a flank steak, and I'm like, "No, I'm not." I look down at my watch, and yeah, sure enough, I'm late for a panel. So the only thing I can do to get to my panel in time is down those 2 beers I'm drinking, run out with this steak, running down the street trying to finish a steak because it's a $70 steak while trying to make it to my panel. And by the way, I'm usually pretty good about not sweating at conventions. This is the first time I've ever had meat sweats at a panel.
Oh.
And holy God, now I know what it felt like to be a gamer stuck in a room for like a couple hours. So that's the more recent crazy con stories that have happened. But yeah, that's pretty new.
Yeah, nah. That's pretty good.
So I'm gonna break quarantine.
I can certainly think of a number of stories myself, just but I have to remember I'm on staff now.
Yeah. So
but
yeah, it's kind of weird to be on staff for you, isn't it, Ben?
It's crazy stuff because of all the fun times had as a young college student in high school or in anime cons. But I've been lucky enough to say I've certainly enjoyed giving back more than anything so far. It's worth more than any party. But I think one of my favorite things is getting to work with stand-up comics. We don't have enough comedy shows at anime cons as many as we should. So I loved. I mean, last year was just one of the best because I mean, I've known both of you for the better part of my half my life. So getting to see you guys perform as often as I get to, considering that you guys live on different parts of the states, but to see you guys perform together was like comic book dream. Like just getting to see fan favorites getting together and really have a good time. Then and we also there was also Flanagan's afterwards, which always makes every story better. But I think I really liked. I remember Abe going dressed up as a ninja pirate back in the days when ninjas versus pirates were really a tough thing, and he really went out of his way to make a lot of peace between a lot of people. A lot of really angry weebs really did find solace and peace and kindness that day. And Aaron, I mean, geez, Aaron, you took me to more cons than you took me to some of my first cons where I was not escorted by my parents. So I think that there's always something to say when you have a big brother figure that comes in and make sure to take you towards the irresponsible side of life responsibly. So
yeah,
some good times. I love that. You know what though? Since
we can't talk about a lot of those, can we, Ben?
I will say, since we are MizuCon, we can talk about the first MizuCon. That was certainly, but not in huge detail. But I will say that we've been hanging out since the very first MizuCon, and I think there's something to say that MizuCon's got a lot of great history that we get to knowingly enjoy, maybe not knowingly share. But someone said makes a good point. Senpai life. It's really great because I mean, what's interesting is a fun story between you two. I know we've had this conversation last con. Abe remembers seeing you perform, Aaron, when he was a kid, and now he himself is a stand-up comic. So seeing you guys perform was like extra special because just to see character character growth. Everybody got character growth. It's great. Whoever our writer is for this timeline, I mean,
you're giving me all this praise, and at the same time, I feel like a horrible influence on you two.
I mean, I am still working for AnimeCon, so
yeah.
I am smiling under this with my big beard.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this off. This thing's making me sweat profusely.
Oh,
Like screw
but
quarantine.
as far as craziness, I mean, this pandemic certainly made things extra interesting. But it's nice to see that we're all getting ready for a fun online time, which I'm really excited. I want to see what you guys have in store. But that being said, there's just a lot to look forward to once this whole pandemic is over. We can all finally go back to staying home indoors for no good reason, and not when finally people are like, "Why aren't you leaving your house? The pandemic's over," and it was just like, "What are you talking about? We just wanted to hang out at home already."
Yeah.
Right.
I know.
It'd be nice to go thrifting though, and
Oh,
go hit
that
up
would
the
be
flea
fun.
market. Go get some. I mean, it's been a while since I've bought anything for any video games or any consoles or anything like that.
That's one thing I always laugh about when I'm at anime cons. I go through the vendor hall and I'm like, man, they need to have like a thrift version. Oh, wait, we do at MizuCon. We've got our MizuCon garage sale that we have every year where people go out and they bring in all of their home stuff that they don't want anymore or that they want to give better homes to. Anime collectibles, DVDs, all of that fun stuff. You looking for it? They've got it. You don't know what you find.
But Ben, how much is it to do that?
Are you kidding? You just have to go online, register. It's not as expensive as a full-time vendor table, but I will tell you right now, it is affordable and fun, and you should definitely check it out. MizuCon's rummage sale. Check it out now.
Oh,
I'll post the link down in the YouTube. That was my sales pitch, guys.
That was a great plug. Plug.
You gotta plug them while you can, guys. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like
I'm an Italian cook.
I will certainly say there's something to say about saying something. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you did there.
I tried hard. But let me get out the MizuCon rummage sale information so people can get at that, because can't go wrong.
But I think it's great that we still have plans for the con and whatnot. So like we know there is that outlook on the horizon that I'm happy about. But yeah, I would like all this to be over so we can start hanging out at cons again. The second all this is over, I'm gonna touch everything.
Yep.
Like with consent. Because we live in 2020, we gotta ask permission still.
Consent.
No, I'm patting free hugs on my scrotum.
Oh jeez. Oh hey, we got another question on the chat. If you could pick any devil fruit, what would you pick? What Pokemon would you want help with? What Pokemon would you have help with your stand-up? And if you could create a stand, what power? What would you give them? I'm gonna need to translate some of that.
There's a lot there.
Yeah. Which devil fruit would I choose? That's
from One Piece.
I know.
So I would pick the Worldo, because that's a stand and that's better than One Piece, because everyone knows that JoJo's is better than One Piece. I'm throwing those hands.
Come on, dude.
Jeez, Ben.
I'm not letting it go. I'm using this. This is now my extra plug. It's all about JoJo's. It just is.
So much disappointment on this.
If you have to watch 400 episodes of an anime, I mean, is it really an anime, or is it an anime? That wasn't funny, was it?
No, it's just
you hate One Piece,
man.
Yeah, I do. I say that depressingly because
it takes a hater to know a hater, but like, man, there's all kind of.
I will say, as far as making a stand, I mean, what would you guys pick? That is a great question. What would you guys pick for stands, and what would the power be? Personally, I mean, I would just want a stand that automatically like made me like staff at every con I went to, so that I could just walk in and just pick up my badge and my T-shirt and just be like, okay, I'm gonna go move boxes or something, and then and just have a good time the rest of the time. But yeah, what would you guys pick for stands?
The devil fruit. I'm going with honeydew. I don't know what the power that comes with honeydew is, but I'm really into honeydew right now. I'm going through a phase. The Pokemon I would pick to help with my stand-up, I feel like I'd pick Vigoroth, because I think he'd be quick on his feet. I don't know. Stand? If I had to create a stand, I would probably
Lights?
pick the ability to fling my feces at people, but I wouldn't need a stand for that.
You really don't.
I don't know what
understand.
my
You can
stand
get a
would be.
trained monkey for that, but I think in Florida it can be legal, but you got to find a lawyer for that.
I don't know. I mean, we live in one of those states where you can own tigers for reasons, according to documentaries. I would like to know. Avocado is a fruit, right?
I'm not picking up those kind of fighting words. Like, I know someone will get on that chat and will start. This is Florida. Avocados are sacred territory.
Yeah, I know, but it also depends, like, where you get the avocado from. Like, I don't know what kind of ability you would get with that, because I figured, like, you get a catch-all with this. If you're in California and you pick up an avocado, I feel like you become a basic white person. But if you're in Florida and you pick up an avocado and that's a devil fruit, I think you are invincible because you are getting the powers of Florida man by that logic.
You're not wrong. I mean, there is something to say about fruits in Florida.
Yeah.
I think any group of people that can drink as much orange juice as we do from the grounds of which we live are going to be people that are undefeatable in battle and wild in the throes of daily living.
Yeah, I'm convinced there's something in our water.
I think there is too. I mean, I especially love the fact that we have the best bottled water, which I think stands to speak for Florida in and of itself. That we have amazing bottled water like Zephyr Hills. And I feel that I was in another state once and I looked at a bottle of water. I was like, oh, wow, like Arrowhead Mountain. I wonder where this water is from. And you read on the back and it just says Crystal Springs, Florida, Zephyr Hills, Florida. I'm like, wow, other states are so ashamed of the fact that they drink Florida water that they won't even label them once they're outside the state that they're ours. So I just hope that that's a shout out to all the other states that are drinking our water. A, you're welcome, and B, we're coming for you. Florida.
As for Pokemon that would help me with stand-up, I'll be honest with you, I'll get a Ditto, man. I mean, that'd be great. You know what a Ditto's great for pop comedy. Like,
he's not wrong.
I mean, or a Delibird, because like they just pull random crap out of their bag and like just go with that. That'd be great for improv. As for a stand, I mean, the problem is I like to lean a lot, so there's that.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, I think I lean a lot.
Terrible pun.
Yeah,
but that's okay.
I try. Okay.
So I guess the big question for you guys is, if you were, and I know that this wasn't asked, but I'm going to ask it. If you guys could run your own cons, what would they be like? And by what they would be like, if you were, let's say it's not going to be a giant con, had to be a small local con you'd have to run. What would it look like?
Small local con.
Local con. What would that, like, all of a sudden someone came to you and said, you have to run a con. What would that look like? Our technician already said he would run like hell and never look back.
Yeah, if I was in charge of a small local con, I would make it like an MMO. Like you get to the front, you get to the registration desk, I give you a random weapon and I just go, I'll send everybody on a snipe hunt for like the most ridiculous thing.
Just they show up and they're like, here's your ticket, here's a sword, the vendor hall might be somewhere.
Yeah.
The artist alley is probably going to be more people with weapons, and main events, they're people.
When I say weapon, it'll be like Nerf guns and boffer swords and like
that would be fun too. That would be fun with people
and whatnot. But that would end the problem with my con is we'll end up on the 10 o'clock news. Because someone will take things too seriously, but we'll see.
Yeah. How about you, Abe? You, Abe, are a unique one. You have
aesthetic, run down mall, middle of nowhere.
You see, that is the kind of con I can agree with. There is something to say. If we could just get an abandoned mall and just run the con there. Now that's been done by people that thought it was a good idea. But
Yeah.
no, I think we should look at it and be like, this is a bad idea. Let's do it because it's a bad idea.
So we don't want to do Coachella Con.
No, I think that I would imagine Abe would want no fees. He wants a completely complete anarchy as far as tickets.
I know a guy that sells really good mangoes and coconuts. I can hit him up.
I would want him as a vendor. I would want only bootlegs. It would nothing
bootlegs?
real. In fact, I want
Only
things
bootlegs
people
at the con. It's an only bootleg con.
It's only bootlegs at the con. Like all of the anime distributors are just outside waiting with lawyers.
You know what we do? We gotta get the guy. We gotta get the guys. We gotta get the guys that walk up and down Caliocho and sell frozen shrimp out of the trunk of their car for some reason. That's the food for the entire weekend. We will be a health inspector's nightmare.
Yes, we would. Which there is something. So as much as I want to imagine what Abe's con would look like, we did have another question. But I will say I love the idea. I will say
like Charlie's apartment, and it's always funny.
There is something beautiful about, I want to say, bad cons, and I'm not saying bad cons as though they're like bad, but I think like the cons people don't think about because most people think like giant, huge, mega shows. They don't think of the little mom and pop toy show that people just have been going to for like generations, or they don't think about like the monthly trade show that will all of a sudden randomly have cosplay. And it's fun. But there is a really good question on there from our friend Carol. And she's got the question is, what was your first cons? And I think you guys, I would love to, I know them. I want you guys to tell your stories for your first cons. Whoever wants to start first.
YosumiCon 2009, I think.
Oh man, those are words I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah.
YosumiCon. That brings back a lot of memories. Damn. Wow. I have to press F on my keyboard for respects on that one. Oh man. So what, YosumiCon was your first con in 2009?
2009, 2008. I forget which year, but I was like in middle school.
Yeah, no, we are. Oh, I remember. Yeah, I think I remember seeing you, Abe, because fun fact, I know you were. I think I remember seeing your older brother, and those were good times. Just so you guys know, just for everybody watching, we're lucky that MizuCon is kind of like a sole successor because we're the first, or most of us were at one point associated with YosumiCon, and we carried on that torch into MizuCon with what we do now as a nonprofit. Which having you guys on here, which I have to say, this has been a lot of fun because this has become like a panel of you guys who have been guests and have also been around cons for a long time in different ways. But all right, so we got Abe's first con. Aaron, how about you?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. That's a 3-part answer because it depends on what your definition on first con is. Because my first con I went to by mistake. It was a library convention that was thrown at, I forgot which library it was in Miami, but it was in Kendall. I think it was called LibCon, which is funny because like if you look up the name LibCon, that's like 30 different conventions hosted by like so many different libraries now, because it's just an easy name.
It wasn't Liberations, because there was one called Liberations.
Yeah, that was a different con.
It was a different one. Yeah, there was a lot of library cons at one point. Like there really was this at one point some weird drive. The library was like, oh, we need weebs. We need them now. Where are the weebs? And the weebs showed up at the library, and the library was just like, why did we do this?
Yeah. But the funny thing was like my first time going to this con, I was originally going to do a martial arts tournament, and it turns out that we had to cancel the tournament because I was doing martial arts at the time. We had to cancel it because I forgot if like there was flooding or someone broke in to the actual shut up, scam likely. No one likes you. Sorry, I don't know why my phone's on. But yeah, no, so like I was going to this I was going to a martial arts tournament and I was ready for it, and then it got canceled. And then a friend of mine calls me up about something going on at the local library, And he's like, "Oh, dude, you want to come by and check it out?" Cool. So I'm there in my martial arts getup, but not ironically, not for cosplay. And I show up, and like all these people are here having fun, and I thought this was great. This is also when Naruto was just starting up, so there were a bunch of, I want to call them pre-weebs.
So there were just kids in Naruto headbands running around like this, and they were just like, "Wow, this is the cool latest thing. This is always going to be popular."
And when I said headbands, like this is before like official merch was a thing. So like headbands with like duct tape and whatever. So at the same time at this library, they were really trying to like add more things to do, and they were telling these. The great idea was, oh, we're gonna play a game called Assassin. And there was this one kid dressed like Naruto who went up to stab me with like a rubber kunai, because his target was someone dressed in a martial arts uniform, and he assumed it was me. Now, keep in mind, I was also studying Krav Maga, so out of my periph, I just see this knife coming at me, and I grab this 12-year-old kid's arm, and I just like body check him hard and elbow him in the nose really hard. And this kid's just bleeding out of his face on the carpet. Everybody's like checking on him, making sure he's okay. I book it out of this thing. And that was my first time really going to a convention ever, but it was by accident. My first time going to a convention by choice was YusumiCon. And it was kind of weird because I went as a goer and a volunteer at the same time. So I got to go, I got to pop that cherry twice. Giggity. And my first time going to a major convention was MegaCon in 2005, and that's a story for another day. That's
awkward to remind people how weebs can get old, and here we are, and we were once the teenagers, and now we're the people doing the work, and now they're teenagers, and you're just like, I'm old.
Yeah, no, dude. I look at like, it's weird because I go to cons now and I look at half the crap that I used to do, and I shudder over the fact that I'm still alive. I shudder over the fact that I didn't get in trouble for it. And I'm looking at these kids now, and it's, do you know how weird it is when I go to a convention and I look at other teenagers and I go, I don't like the looks of those teenagers. Like they're
really awkward. It's funny because I'm a teacher. For everybody out there that now knows my profession, I'm a social studies teacher. It's really awkward because I'll run into students, and occasionally Abe will be with me, and I'll immediately have to hide Abe because I already know that the corruption will be, you can't undo. You just can't undo. You just can't. Once you're down that rabbit hole, before you know it, you're buying IMAX off Craigslist, and you're video editing vaporwave videos, and your whole aesthetic is lo-fi. And I mean, you know what? And you thrift for everything. It's a very frugal way to live, but
just, back in my day,
I just yeah. And I just don't want to end up seeing him wearing Birkenstocks. It's my real fear.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Oh no.
We certainly have evolved, to say the least.
Yeah.
But, it's weird. Like I'm it's kind of weird because like my moment of being old was the last con I was at. I actually had to ask publicly, what's the new anime kids are into now? And that was my, I gotta check my age at the door now kind of thing.
Yeah, you gotta be what I've learned is that we all remember being in anime club, and I'm sure both of you guys remember being in an anime club. You know, you were either bullied in high school or bullied in college, or or bullied at home, or bullied yourself, and you end up in an anime club that way. I'm obviously kidding, but otherwise you end up in an anime club. You're with friends, and then you just say to yourself, "Oh man!" But then there's that one guy who thinks he knows all of the good anime, and he wants to let you know he thinks your anime is trash. And you never think about that guy until you one day become an adult and you realize that person was just trying to grow up quite too fast. So when my students come in and they ask, "Oh, Mr. Torrance, you got this great anime," I say, like, guys, these are bad choices. Watch better anime. And it helps to know that I'm doing a good public service.
Yeah, see, I'm having the complete opposite problem because I'm also a teacher, and I remember. So I've had two really random situations. The first random situation was I had these group of kids, and they were talking about a very specific anime. And I'm sitting at my desk. I'm going through notes. I'm getting ready to like pass back stuff, but I'm listening to the anime they're talking about. And then I realized something, is they're not talking about an anime. They were talking about a hentai.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say the name of it or anything like that, but like I'm sitting there and I'm hearing this and I'm like,
wait, how much?
gotta really bite my mouth, bite my tongue here. And I tell the kids, it's like, you know, can you guys change the subject? We gotta get back to work. And he goes, oh, but Mr. Pabon, we're just talking about anime. No, you're not. You know. And I had to be really careful about like how I continue that afterwards. And then later on, they would like challenge me on it. And it's like, Mr. Pabon, what do you know about anime? Like, I bet you the only anime you know about is Pokemon, and that's not really an anime. And I'm like, oh my god! I just like sit down. I had to think for a second, and then I clear the whiteboard and I just write down 80 different anime off the top of my head. And I get to the end of the whiteboard and I go, do you want me to continue? And they go, no, we're good.
You know, it's hilarious because that's the best feeling when you have kids and then they don't look at you like they're scared. They look at you in awe as though they've met someone that, you know, that makes them feel validated. It's really nice. Kara asked another great question. What anime has made you laugh the hardest? And it's very strange, if only because it's so inappropriate.
Oh God.
Is Golden Boy. Golden Boy has always better than Golden Boy. The original, I like dubs. And for everybody on the internet, I like dubs. All right. I like to eat my food when I watch my anime. And for that reason, I watch dubs. You can hate me. Sorry, Tech is calling me lame, but he likes subs. What I love is bad dubs from the early to mid 90s that are absolutely incredibly almost bad on purpose. So most people think like Ghost Stories dub, but mine is
but they did that on purpose.
Well, that, you know what, that's not the only one they did on purpose, because there was a point where they were like, okay, we're getting paid chump change to these shtick, you know, acting spots in Texas, not in LA or something, and like with ADV, and you get really good works like the original Devilman OVA dubs, and you just have moments where all of a sudden you'll have like, oh, it's my good friend Rio. How the hell are you doing? And it's like, I don't give a shit. And like just out of nowhere, out of absolute nowhere. Now, Carol says Ghost Stories. I do think Ghost Stories is great, but everybody's seen Ghost Stories. I say to everybody, go watch the original OVA of Devilman dubbed, then watch Golden Boy if you haven't already seen it, which a giant shout out to one of our guests, Doug Smith, who's done work on Golden Boy and absolutely kills it. And big shout out to him, and big shout out to any old school dub anime voice actors that did bad dubs, because they are works of art to me. They're works of comedic art, and people should feel bad for not liking them. Dubs are amazing. Bad dubs are amazing. They should make more bad dubs. We should make a bad dub.
Agreed.
Make a bad dub.
Yeah, we should.
I mean, could you imagine us, like,
but yes.
All you do is find an old anime no one is watching or that nobody cares about, and you just go in and you just dub it over whatever.
I would love to redub Area 88.
I've never seen Area 88, and now I want to see it because I imagine
the original OVAs. Watch the original OVAs, because it's an aviation anime, but at the same time, it's like, you know, the original dub is horrible, and then they did a remake of the show, and that dub was better. The last anime that really got me laughing hard was Fooly Cooly. Fooly Cooly was hilarious.
Fooly Cooly, yeah, the original. I mean, I tried the new one, but just
the new one is very plot heavy. Only if you watch the first ones, and it's kind of like, all right, that's fine, cool. They continue the story, but we didn't really need. Did we really need more story on that? But the last anime that really got me laughing, and it's kind of weird because it's actually a slice of life anime, was Azumanga Daioh.
That's an old school fun anime.
Funny
that
anime.
is a fun anime for back in the day. That's a fun one. Azumanga Daioh. The manga itself is really good. And now all of a sudden we have now become a 3-man comedic anime club, which is never unfun. There is something certainly to say about the fact that Azumanga Daioh was great comedy because it was a 4-comma where you just have like little comic strips, and it would end with every time it would be a killer. Like all of a sudden it'd be like, oh, I'm having a bad day. Okay, I'm maybe, you know, and just a girl standing there, and all of a sudden the cat just bites her, and you're just like, wow, that, and you just crack because all of a sudden you're like, wow, this girl just has it bad. Then out of nowhere, just cat bite, done.
Yeah. And then there would be like the random ones. Like my favorite moment was when they had this whole ritual where it's like, oh, we're gonna kick a shoe in the air, and how it lands.
Oh my god!
Means it's gonna be good luck or bad luck, and it just lands in a garbage truck that keeps going. and then she does it again, and it lands in another garbage truck, and it keeps going. I'm like, oh my god.
I would pick I remember really enjoying Cromartie High School.
Oh
my god,
yeah, there you go. Pulling out the classic.
But
a classic right there.
Unintentional funniest anime. Like it's the, to me it's the funniest just unintentionally. I would probably put Inuyasha. It's just way too easy to make fun of. I'm sorry. The wind tunnel, the animation of the bees every time.
You got to be careful because you have to be careful with Inuyasha, because I don't know if you saw that now they're getting a new series. You have to be careful because the fans, I remember, so I was once, as we've mentioned, I was in an anime club in high school during, you know, the heydays of Inuyasha. And I just remember one day hearing, there was a kid in my anime club, can't remember his name. It's unfortunate, because I just remember one day, he seemed like a nice guy. And one day he was just like, man, the Shomaru sucks. Never before have I seen a yaoi fangirl pick up a textbook and chuck it at someone's head so fervorously. I've never seen such a scared teacher, because this yaoi fangirl got up out of her desk. She did not get up out of her desk. She got up on the desk, chucked that book. And my God, I have never heard anybody, you know, it's just all of a sudden Tetsaiga, and it just flew across the room. And the next thing I knew, I was getting called in the office because they were like, "You're head of the anime club. Why is this happening?" And I was just like, "There's nothing we can do. You just have to let this happen."
Yeah, oh wow. I mean, I remember in my anime club in high school, we single-handedly got paper shurikens banned from the school. Because like we made them for like just to like in the club, and we were like throw them at each other once in a while, right? But then somehow, like when we made them, the whole school started learning how to make them, and suddenly everybody was making paper ninja stars, but no one knew who did it first. But the anime club did it first, and we didn't say anything. But it was kind of one of those like, oh man, we started a trend, didn't we? And then randomly during lunch, some guy had thrown a paper ninja star, and it hit someone in the eye, and that guy was in like an eye patch for like 3 weeks because of that. Ooh. And just because of that, we got ninja stars banned from school. So
the only time I can remember anything like that happening bad enough was so I had gotten into the college anime club at Miami-Dade College. Go shout out, go Sharks, and go cheap tuition. God bless NBC.
No one's ever said go Sharks unironically.
I'm saying go Sharks unironically because my associates in arts is from Miami-Dade College. I went to Dade. Community college. I got someone at my tech is yelling like formerly community college. Like, I don't need a reminder. There's still a couple road signs that say it. Anyway, so I walk in and the anime club is asking for, and we got some, I see we have some people from Miami-Dade College also in the chat. Go Stephanie Vasquez. I walk into the computer courtyard, their computer lab. It was huge, beautiful, great school. And I just remember the head technician knew that I was working in anime clubs in the past, and he comes up to me and he's like, "You have to do something." And I'm like, "Do what?" He's just like, "We just had a whole slew of Yu-Gi-Oh card players kicked off of the balconies at the computer courtyard." And I asked them, why did the Yu-Gi-Oh card players get kicked off of the balcony? And the answer, of course, there were Yu-Gi-Oh card players. Granted, that also means, the thefts, the violence, the backbags being thrown. Magic the Gathering players, I have to say, they're not bad people. They're genuinely, they're there for a card game. I once was privy to a court case where $500 worth of Yu-Gi-Oh cards in a binder were stolen from a card shop, and it went to court.
Oh wow.
And the worst part is that the judge just couldn't stop laughing. But the people in the room were just like taking it so seriously. He stole my cards. There was a, I mean, I can't remember. He was like, there was a Necros that is in there that is worth $300, and I'm not leaving until I get that back. And imagine being a judge. Your taxpayers are paying for this. Tax dollars are paying for this. And
I
all
want
of a
a
sudden,
copy of the courtroom transcript.
I would do anything for it. Honestly, it's one of those things where apparently it's unfortunate. I mean, I wish I knew more about the case because it was so long ago, and they ended up settling. So it didn't really, like, there were no charges being pressed. Eventually, they just got, their cards back. And that's all he really wanted, was to get his cards back. But as you can imagine being that judge. Imagine being the other members in the crowd that were just sitting there, or the bailiff. The bailiff would, to be that bailiff. Just to imagine seeing a grown human being saying, no, there was a blue eyes white dragon in that binder worth $275, and I am getting my money back. I need it. And just imagine the face on the other person saying, no, you're not getting your card back over Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I couldn't see that with Magic the Gathering. I would usually see them handshaking and being cordial and having, nice dinners with each other. Yu-Gi-Oh card players, no, they're cut each other.
I just, I would love to read that courtroom transcript. Oh man. Anyway, but Ben, this has been great.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, like, we're now, we set it up just in case we can go on for the whole time.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, this has been an awesome first comedy pop-up, first of many, and definitely our big plug. Major shout out for everybody out there watching. Big shout out to our guests, which has been Aaron Pabon and Abe Perez, our favorite stand-up comedians at MizuCon.
Thank you.
Big push to us. Definitely check us out. We're having MizuConnect, which is our online anime convention, coming up Memorial Day weekend. So make sure to check us out. We'll be sharing all the upcoming info. We've got a few more pop-ups coming up between now and then, so definitely check us out. And then we're going to make sure to give you guys the best online convention weekend you could ask for. Plus, make sure to check us out coming back when everything's finally said and done. We'll be coming back at the end of August, right before the end of summer break. So whatever you do, don't make sure to come and see us. That's going to be August 22nd and 23rd. Please don't miss us. We can't wait to see everybody back. Fingers crossed we get to be the first convention y'all get to come back to. So from all of us at MizuCon and our favorite comedians, wish you a fond farewell and a wonderful night.
Thanks again.
Safety and love to you, your loved ones, and your family. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and all the other holidays we could enjoy. All right, guys, we'll call it a night. Night, everybody. Be safe.
Bye.
Good night. Thanks
Stay
again.
6 feet away from me at all times.
All the time. Put your masks on, people. Stay safe out there.